Yep, there we go. Was totally muted there. Let me start over.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Take
to
two, action.
action. Yeah, welcome back. Thank you for joining us again on what is Oscar night. I'll just make this joke again, which is that this is much better than Oscar night. Um, who cares what some old white dudes think what the best movies were? So thank you for joining us. Um,
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. We're glad to have you back. This is episode 3 of our actual play of Science 2nd Edition, The Storm Breaks. Um, I am your story guy, Ian. My pronouns are he, him. And very quickly, we'll go through the introductions. We'll start with, of course, Lane, who is not Lane, it's Megan, but you know.
Yep. Hi, my name is Megan. My pronouns are they, them. I am playing Lane Carnahan, scion of Osiris / Isis, whose pronouns are also they, them. And I am extremely excited to play tonight. I'm bummed that I wasn't able to be here last time, but happy to make up for it now. And if you want to follow me on places, you can follow me at Starweaver or Arch Starweaver. Arch Starweaver is for the spicy folks. But I'm always gaming and posting random stuff, and you'll find lots and lots of actual cat pictures in my social media. Cats, specifically.
Right. And we love pet photos. Any pets, your dogs, your cats, your snakes, your lizards. Maybe not your tarantulas and centipedes, but you know.
No,
We'll
those
take
two.
them.
That's cool.
Okay, all right. Well, all right. CJ.
Hello, hi, I'm CJ. My pronouns are they, them. I'm playing Ro, whose pronouns are they, them, who I believe just reached demigod status last episode, so that's very exciting. So I have my cool new get up. I hope I look a little more like a person who's taking their role seriously. You can find me everywhere at CJ Story, and perhaps when we wrap up, I might share some other cool stuff going on. For now, I'll pass it back.
All right. Logan.
Howdy ho. I am Logan. My pronouns are he, they. And I play Jericho, whose pronouns are also he, they. I don't really do much, but you can find me at BronyHawk Official on Instagram. And yeah, I'm just really excited to get back into playing this because I feel like it's been ages.
From a certain perspective in the story, it has. Um, so, we'll get into that in just a minute. But yeah, Ace.
Hi, everybody. My name's Ace. My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Nemesis Rex, whose pronouns are also he, him. You can find me on various social media places at Ulrich_Wolfgar. That's Ulrich with a K. Find me on the Instant Grandmother. I post miniatures. I post doodles and drawings. I post all kinds of weird, funny, stupid stuff. And we're going to have a good time tonight. Let's suplex something.
I think you might have a chance. So,
It might even be on fire.
a mythic battle worthy of the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. Yeah. So let me do the quick channel news. Of course, I'm liking Instant Grandmother. I'm liking that. I might keep using that. Follow us on at TheBelovedNerds on Instagram. That's where we're going to do a lot of our updates. We've also got a Twitter, which is my portmanteau of X and Twitter. We've got one of those now. I think I'm going to try to update that a little bit more now. So follow us on that as well. And of course, like and subscribe to our YouTube page where we've got all of the past episodes from the last season of this and all of the past episodes from this season as well. Also, this Friday, we've got another episode of Monster of the Week, which I hope you can join us for at 9 East Standard Time, which is a good, crazy game. And we're having a lot of fun with that too. And if you're interested, let us know, and we can invite you to our Discord, where we're always looking for new players and game masters. So with that all being said, yeah, let's get right into it. So when we last left off, everyone had gone to bed after the ferrymen of the underworld had come out of the shower. But then a couple of you kind of woke up in the middle of the night for a little nightcap, for a little late night conversation. And then, of course, as often what happens with nightcaps, the god of wine showed up, making a lot of claims about someone messing with the booze. Normally the god of wine does not get involved in such matters, but when someone fucks with the booze, now it's his problem. So, using the power of booze, he sent several of you back in time and through space, using the magic only possible through alcoholic consumption, to Ireland, where you all got up to some chaos with freeing Ondagda from the Pomori, who may or may not be in league with the enemy. And specifically, that allowed you to find where the booze that we said goes would be tampered with. In all that, one of you came into the power of demigod, which was Primal, as the spirit of the Morgan kind of took over and said, "Burn it all down."
So I did.
So anyway, I started burning.
That sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, it's a shame that Jericho had to miss it, because it would have been right up Jericho's forte. But there's plenty more fires to be had, so we can kind of get started with the next morning, where, if you recall from the first episode, Karin had suggested that you seek Odysseus, and through the power of the internet, you all had made an appointment with Odysseus, and he told you basically to come to one of his Euro restaurants, Taniri, at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and he'll meet with you. And so, assuming everyone doesn't have a magic hangover, everyone gets up on time. And I guess we're up in the morning, and maybe the first thing you notice is that Kaz is missing.
That seems about right, considering what I know about Cass and what I've seen of them over the past year.
I'll wake up and look around to see if they've left any trace. Not like desperately searching, just idly looking.
Is that sort of everyone's reaction? Just sounds about Kaz?
Well, I think that Rogue might be a little worried, because they had a pretty decent conversation right before going to bed, and then they wake up and Kaz is gone, so they might be a little concerned by that, but that's why they will idly look for some sign as to where they've gone, and if they come up empty-handed, they will shrug and move on with their morning. But that's why they're looking in the first place.
So let's take a quick look to see if cast button and cast. It says basically that they are gonna go ahead and scout ahead to the beer restaurant and make sure everything's okay.
Alright, yeah, Ro
Ready?
will produce said note to the others and be like, we'll meet him there. Tuck in their pocket.
Bro, there's something different about you.
A little bit, yeah. Last night, Nemesis and Kaz and I went on a little adventure while you all were asleep.
What?
Yeah, we didn't really have time to wake you up. Dionysus showed up in the living room and transported us 6 months into the past to fix the whiskey.
A crime which could not stand.
Yeah, that was my thought. But the whiskey's fixed, so...
But you seem different.
Yeah. Something happened. I feel... I don't know, more powerful. It's, well, we'll have to see what I can do, right? I do feel different.
Jericho's definitely very curious about the differences. And do we like notice anything specifically different, or I'm just going with like the vibe idea? But
Yeah, Ro, I think I described that. I mean, it's a bit like my hairstyle. It's amazing. But I think I described Ro as having their hair had gone sort of mostly black, but like with some white. Yeah, just kind of overall it's a sort of deeper set eyes, just a little bit darker looking as far as like vibes, I guess.
yeah, that sounds so metal.
And yeah, that happened I think when they came back. Well, immediately when they came back, so it was like, yeah, when we got back from the past, I was just like this. Don't know if that technically means I've been like this since then or not, but I don't want to think too hard about it. Because I haven't gotten anywhere with that.
Lane
God,
just Lane like looks, does a circle around Ro, just like looking at them in general, and just says, "You leveled up, dude. Do you get that?
Oh, like a video
Yeah.
game?
Yeah, dude. You just like you got more powerful. Like you evolved somehow. Like you." Obviously, there's something different about you now, and I can see it. And like, you must have done something. Maybe it was whatever happened last night, but you're, you know,
No,
yeah.
I mean, we solved something for people of my pantheon, so I guess it makes sense that I would grow in power from that, I guess.
That's interesting. So,
Yeah.
if any of us do something that's connected to our pantheon, maybe do we think that that's going to help us get stronger? Because if so, I mean, that might be an advantage here.
I don't know how to describe it. It sort of felt like, this is going to sound stupid, you know, like the Trials of Hercules.
Yep.
It felt a little like that. Like it was something I was meant to do.
Can't just achieve greatness without labor.
Something like that.
Was there a lion involved last night?
No lions. Just
Bear.
a bear. Yeah.
Oh my.
Just need a tiger, I guess.
I guess you could settle for a cheetah? Or is it a leopard?
Something like that. Shall we all go to an interview at a fast food Greek restaurant now?
I guess so.
Don't know if I can answer any other questions, but if you have any, I'll try.
Lane would love to pull Ro aside, like, before we go for a second and just like, take their hand and say, are you okay?
Might actually be more okay than I've been. A little bit, anyway. Maybe there's something I'm really meant to do.
I'm glad that it's unsettling to see you. I don't know, different like this. It's weird, but at the same time, if this is a good thing and you're excited about it, then I'm excited for you too.
I'm still Ro, just also maybe Ro, Scion of Morrigan. Which I know I've been for a while, but I've been pretending like I wasn't.
Yeah, I think none of us were exactly excited about who we are, but I think we all have to come to the understanding and the appreciation of who we are at this point, because, you know, people are counting on us.
Might be the point of no return, yeah. A little bit.
Yeah. But, you know, even though, we're from different pantheons, you know, I've still got you, and this sounds so stupid. I'm gonna stop now. Never mind. Just ignore me. And Lane starts to, like, kind of, like, start rubbing their head and walking away.
Ro smirks and is like, don't think the Pantheon matters, Lane. I think we're all gonna be a new one. Shall we go?
Yeah, let's go.
Everyone's
Right, Daddy.
delved deep into your fast food pasts.
Does anyone want to do anything else before you set off for the restaurant?
We had coffee. Otherwise, no.
Are you getting coffee or just making coffee?
I feel like they probably have a freaking like Keurig or some shit, just like instant coffee. When I say instant coffee, I don't mean instant coffee. I mean very quick coffee. So
I mean, you're a demigod now. You could, in theory, have a magical cauldron of coffee.
you're a demigod. You don't need a Keurig.
Basically.
Well,
Just as long as we have not like told Karan to make coffee, because I don't think
I'd be concerned how that would turn out.
there's if I have made coffee and just like some sort of black sludge pours into a cup screaming.
Hard pass. In whatever is the most direct route, Ro makes coffee for themselves and anyone who wants one that they can take to go.
Okay.
Easy, thank you.
Ro,
Well,
just pour some to-go cups for everyone except Blaine, who's drinking probably an energy drink.
Yep, I am having a monster BFC.
Blaine stress chugging a monster.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Great way to start the morning.
Which,
So
for those of you who were not absolutely gremlins in your youth, or just a different kind of gremlin than I was, a BFC is a big fucking can, and it is like one of the largest monsters that you can get.
Horrifying. So they get their selected caffeine and leave the safe house.
Well, Karan wishes you luck as you leave. Just like good luck on your quest, and he's probably eating frozen pizza rolls out of a bag.
I love him.
Can
They're
heat this up
crunchy.
for you.
Those are crunchy. They're very crunchy.
Jericho just whoosh.
Somehow
love
they're
it
still
so-
too hot, though.
He's still working
Oh, I
on
just
those
said, I love
those
them so much.
human legs, you know. Or like living it, not being in the underworld existence is very different for him. So, yeah. So we, I don't know if we ever decided what city your safe house was in. It doesn't particularly matter for narrative purposes, but you know, for whatever it was, finding the local Paniri franchise is not very difficult. There's a lot of them, but in the city there's one. And as you approach it, are any of you
Ian,
good at...
we're having minor sound issues. It sounds like the music's a little too loud for us.
There we go. Actually, I was about to switch to this song. Yes. There we go. Yeah, for some reason that had a particularly loud section. Or maybe I must have, well, not getting too much into it, I must have bumped the volume up without looking. Anyway, who's good at noticing things?
Great question.
What would that entail?
That's a great question. Kind of depends on what you're looking for. Pop up the
Yeah.
character sheet. In this case, I think it would be just to notice something. I think would be like a cunning roll plus either culture or occult.
I would have a grand total of 2 dice, so I'm going to guess it is not me.
Did you say culture or?
Yes.
Okay, I have like 5 culture.
My roll would be 9 dice for this. It's cunning plus.
I've just
either
realized I was
culture
muted the
or
whole
occult.
time. My bad.
Oh, yeah,
I've
you're
got
good.
10 dice.
Yeah, you can notice different things with different versions of these. So
I'll do if someone else wants to do culture and cunning, I'll do occult and cunning.
I am absolutely not good at culture, but I will also do occult just in case.
I could do culture and cunning for a total of 8. That's not bad. So I'll do that. I'll just take 2 out of this pile. Yeah. Oh, that's 2 10s.
Okay. So for 5 on the culture roll, there was a fire in front of this building, and the shape of it is not particularly natural. It's almost like a wide circle.
Okay.
Where, like, it's just a wide burned circle, but the middle of it is unburned.
Ro's gonna nudge Jericho a little bit and just point at the big circle of burning with nothing
I
inside.
apologize. Actually, I will need a description of what just happened because my Ethernet cable just came out.
Oh.
So sorry.
You're
No
good.
worries.
Yeah.
Ro just
I was
noticed-
gone for a second.
Ro just
Here, Cap.
noticed that there's been a fire in front of like Penigiri, that it's round in scorched in like a round nature, but the center of the scorch is not scorched, as if whatever caused the scorch was in the center of it. So, being our resident expert on fire, Ro's just gonna nudge Jericho and point at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Could they have a look at that and maybe make a roll with like academics and intellect?
Absolutely.
Or culture and intellect?
Absolutely. And let me also, while you're making that roll, Lane, for the occult roll, you see a pair of dice laying just not too far from the circle, but just maybe like 5 or 10 feet from it.
Okay. I'll definitely point those out to the others, and just say, "You guys see that too?"
Oh god, nerds.
Now I do.
Hey, nerds have nothing to do with this necessarily.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
So, do you approach the dice, or do you pick them up, or look at them closer?
Actually, I'm gonna use my on the case skill. When I investigate an event or scene, I am casing. While casing, I get a +1 enhancement to rolls to discern motives and search for clues.
Ooh.
And it applies before I roll, and it lasts until the end of the session. So I'm going to start casing the joint. And then I'd like to try to vibe check these dice.
Yeah, so you put together a roll for that. So you're doing kind of the crime scene investigation kind of thing. Jericho, did you make a roll yet?
Forgive me. So sorry. Choked on spit. Remind me, it's been so long for me in my brain. What happens on a roll of a 10?
It's a success, and then you get to roll it again.
Cool. That is 8 successes, then.
Okay.
Out of 10.
So, your very fire take on this is that a circular fire of some sort ascended from the sky, slammed down in this exact position, and then probably stopped right then. It didn't spread. It just like some kind of circular fire slammed down right here. How is that investigation coming, Lane?
If I could, intellect and occult is the role that I would like to make, because I am like taking a peek and then also trying to figure out what the fuck that's about.
If that works for you, I'm gonna roll 10 dice.
Okay. while they're rolling dice, can I determine if this was like divine fire or just like maybe a regular fire that could have pursued rapid descent or something?
So I'm gonna give you two reasons why yes. Number one is the nature of it would imply divinity. Also, I've forgotten that now that Ro is a demigod, you get sent the divine for free.
Yo,
So,
love it.
if Ro just goes, oh, something divine happened here.
Smells like
So,
God.
yeah, but generally you would think this the nature of the fire itself was something divine. Yes, it looks like it. Yes. Even if you didn't have sent the divine, your first impression would not be like airstrike. It would be like this is far too precise and far too weird. You know, it's not a drone strike or something.
We have like one of those moments where we both look up at the same time at each other. It's divine fire. Man, no.
Smells
Okay.
like God.
Smells like a god.
So what did you get, Blaine? And remember, you have that
got-
enhancement.
Yes. Oh shit. I got a 7 then.
Okay, 7 successes. Okay, so the dice, the dice you do recognize. They are Kaz's.
Oh. Interesting and mildly upsetting. Do I know anything else about these dice, or do I just know that they're Kaz's?
I think you would know about them if Kaz told you about them. And I can't recall if Kaz has ever mentioned what they do. But
I don't think that they have.
I don't think so, yeah.
it is enough to know that these dice are one of Kaz's birthrights.
Makes sense.
And then
Do we know if it's a bad idea to touch them or not?
I don't think you would find anything. Probably if you touch them, nothing would happen because they're not like I don't
Okay.
know, like attuned to you.
Sweet.
They're not yours.
Yeah. Okay, totally. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't going to have problems if we picked them up. But I'll go scoop them up, grab them, and then bring them to the group and just say, like, Kaz's dice are here, like nearby where the fire was for some reason. Did they mention where they were going, or just?
They just said they were coming to scope out Panegyri.
Okay, so they were here.
They were
Their
here.
dice were on the ground, and then there was some divine fire nearby.
And I will say from those successes, other than noticing the dice, you do see some evidence of a struggle.
Was Kaz fucking kidnapped here? Oh my gosh.
In particular, I will say that what you see is evidence of electrical burns, as if lightning has struck this spot.
Do we think this is a Thor problem?
Oh fuck. Hopefully neither.
True.
But maybe if they caught wind of the fact that Loki was back or around, maybe they wanted to talk to them.
Let's,
But-
yeah, I hope talk is what's happening.
Ideally, but how do we get them? Do we get them?
I think
Do we somehow figure out if they're okay?
we go into Panegyri and we try to think of what to do while we're there. Because we can't exactly follow this anywhere.
Yeah. And Odysseus might know something.
It's worth a shot.
I mean, at this point, Jericho's already going in the door, I think, since they're seeing upsetting signs of shit.
I mean, it's not often. Well, I don't know. I'd like to think it's probably not often that Scion gets kidnapped in front of your building, so maybe he'll know something about it. Let's go.
Let's go in.
We do.
You holding on to the dice, just for my reference.
Yep.
Good.
I got him in my pocket. Actually, I think Lane's kind of like playing with them. It's just like 2d6 is what it is?
They're more like very, like when you first look at them, they do look like, yeah, like craps dice or 2d6, yeah, but like when you look closer at them, they're definitely runic.
Okay. But yeah, Lane just like is kind of holding on to them, and in their pocket is just kind of doing the little like tumble of them, moving them back and forth. Just idly.
Okay. So when you enter the Panieri restaurant, it is a very much a Greek fast food restaurant, just as you expect. Nothing seems unusual about it at all. There's people taking orders, and there's a person at the front counter taking orders.
Ro will walk up to the front counter.
I guess now that I thought about it, for for breakfast euros. It's nearly 9 a.m. But anyway. You know,
Breakfast euros. I'd try it.
Yeah, put some eggs and lamb. Everyone's
Eggs
favorite.
and lamb. I'd do it. I'd eat breakfast. I think I'd eat a breakfast euro. Anyway.
Tzatziki and eggs. Tzatziki and eggs.
Oh, no, I have to try it. No, you've said it. Now I have to try it.
I think tzatziki sauce is good on about everything. But okay, so yeah, you walk up to the counter then, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll wait to be acknowledged.
Hi, welcome to Panieri. May I help you today?
Oh yeah, I've got an interview.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll oh, you have an appointment then. Okay, well, I'll get a manager and just have a seat for a minute. And you know, it pretty much plays out exactly how an interview at a fast food restaurant would be. Is that they get a manager, and the manager comes out and he says, you know, oh yeah, just follow me. The owner would like to speak to you, and we'll get you all settled in. Without questioning why they're interviewing like four people at once. Yeah. But he takes you back, opens a door to an office, and you know there are 4 chairs in the office, and says, just have a seat near, he'll be right with you.
Thank you.
And then closes the door. And shortly after that, a door in the back of the room opens, and a sort of Greek-looking man walks in with sort of black curly hair, and he sits down at the desk in front of you all and kind of regards you a little suspiciously. And just says, hello, it's not often people reach out to me, so you'll excuse my suspicion here.
We were told this is the best way to get a hold of you.
Mm-hmm. Who told you that?
Fellow from down south. Owns a boat. Well, owned a boat.
I knew a lot of people from down south that own a lot of boats. I used to be somewhat of a sailor of myself. Kind of avoid the hobby
Ferryman.
now.
The ferryman.
Mm-hmm.
In a bit
Yeah,
of a
that's-
bind.
Right. And then what are you all doing with this ferryman?
He showed up naked in our bathtub.
Right now he's eating pizza rolls out of our fridge.
Mm-hmm.
Why would the pizza rolls in the fridge? They're supposed to be in the freezer.
Yeah, it was a misspeak. He's definitely eating frozen pizza rolls. They crunched when he bit into them.
Sorry.
Kaz must have done something to the fridge to make it extra icy.
The gods are strange and terrible.
You're telling me.
So let me start with this.
I'm sorry. Are you saying that in response to the fridge thing?
Yes. But let me start with this. Were you followed?
We don't believe so. However, I will say that one of our companions came ahead early, and there's a sign that they were abducted outside of your restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Did you happen to see what I assume was some sort of like lightning situation outside of your establishment?
You're asking if So you're asking if I saw Thor of Asgard descend down from the Bifrost, clock your spy with a that hammer he's got, and run away
Mjolnir?
with Mjolnir. Sure. You're asking if I
Yeah.
saw that?
You're
Hard.
that was very specific. You
It's hard
saw
to
that,
miss.
didn't you?
I did. Not much
You
you
know
can
where they
do
went?
about that. Probably to Asgard.
Well,
And me without my passport.
Which means you
That's
have
about
Which means you have two different problems. You've got a ferryman of the undead, or the ferryman of the dead, who is now, I guess, well, he's undead now, I suppose. In your living room, was it?
yeah.
And you've
Essentially.
got some one of those angry hairy fellows from Asgard kidnapping your friends.
Yeah. Well, sounds like that's a personal, interpersonal issue, so we'll deal with one thing at a time. Thanks
Well.
for the information.
I am willing to help.
Okay. What's the catch?
Well, the first catch is, why should I be involved at all? And the second catch is, if I do get involved, I'm going to want something.
Something is pretty inspecific.
It is.
Hey,
I think
can
it's
I
going to
ask you-
depend. Please.
Oh, I was gonna say, can I ask you something kind of personal?
I don't think you won't if I say no. So,
No, I'll respect your boundaries. Thanks.
that's new. Well then, by all means, go ahead.
All those stories about you, Scylla and Charybdis, and the the Cyclops and everything. Were all those true? Did all those happen?
Of course they did. That's why I've made a very good business for myself staying out of these things. I try not to play with gods anymore. Particularly a certain 12.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
just
same
saying,
you.
you were asking why you should help, and I'm just saying that, you know, if they put you through all that hell, I don't know, maybe you'd like to see them get their asses kicked. Maybe not. That's up to you.
And to be fair, you wouldn't be playing with gods. You'd be playing with us.
No. Y'all are close enough. Given if that was your friend out there and you got Asgardians jumping.
Well,
Yeah,
that's a separate situation. Kaz is a very unique individual.
Yeah, they've gone through some shit.
Okay.
We just
Well,
get
I'm-
random ferrymen appearing in our bathtubs, but they're, you know,
Look
that's
at
a
the
separate
whole
thing.
damn room as well.
That's true. That was actually very inconvenient.
Mm.
So let me say this. Let me give you a piece of advice. You need allies. And I'm willing to help if I feel like you're on my side. Sure. And it sounds like if Charon is coming out of your tub, that something's gone real wrong with the underworld.
Probably.
No, I've got no obligation to help Hades. But, I don't like these new folk that are poking around either. Present company accepted.
Yeah.
Kind of like you all so far.
Thanks. This whole in the internet zeitgeist of the time thing is getting real old for us. We're just
Yeah,
trying to
I
set
just want
things
to go.
right.
I want to go back to being able to actually use my fucking computer.
Yeah.
But also, you know, it's not just one underworld that's being affected by this. If that, you know, helps shift your perspective, multiple gods of death have been targeted, and the souls of the dead specifically are being targeted. That's everybody's problem. That's not just one pantheon's problem. And we're all going to be affected by it. So, unless you want these people to try to like harness the power of these souls that can't get to where they need to go, helping us is probably in your best interest.
Okay.
Not to pressure you, but it's pretty fucking serious.
Right. You know I gotta have an angle on this, right?
What's your angle?
Wouldn't be you otherwise.
So, here's what I'm thinking. I've got an idea that'll fuck both sides.
I'm listening.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you've been watching the TV recently, but there was a special on National Geographic about Vesuvius or something, and Well, the scientists just can't figure it out. What's in that mountain? What's in that mountain is primordial fire.
Yeah.
Now these new folk, they're harnessing that. And I don't think they're gonna share it. Which, I mean, if they take it, it's up to them if they want to share it. I get that, but I don't know. I kind of want to see them not have it. I kind of want to see somebody steal it from them.
Well, that's very funny because coincidentally, and Lane like elbows Jericho.
What a funny coincidence that is. It's almost like I knew that before you came in.
What do you
So,
want?
I want you to steal some of that primordial fire from them. Right? I want you to bring me some of it. I don't need much of it. I need just maybe a candle bit of it.
Why?
Why not? I'll keep that close to my chest. How about that? You keep the rest of it. Do what you want with it. Try not to burn the whole world down, but, you know.
I mean, it's already in the hands of someone we don't want it to be in the hands of. Might as well get it out of there.
In return, I do have an ally in mind for you that I think can help get you places without them seeing you.
Okay.
He kind of works within their system in some ways, and it kind of works. It's pretty impressive, but I'll keep that secret until you've done what I want.
Ro will look back at the others like,
Now, your Asgard problem, your Aesir problem, I don't know how to solve that. You're probably gonna have to go up there and talk to them. I don't envy you for that.
Wouldn't happen to know a good way to access the Bifrost, would you?
No.
You did at one point, but I think that was a one-time use.
No, but, you know, you could probably... I'll think on it. Let me make a call.
Do they have like a specific location that they want us to go to? Where that is? Are we going to Vesuvius again, or?
I think they've got it I think they've got some right here in this city. Probably got it hooked up to some generator. You could probably, if you could feel it, you could probably track it. But I bet if you go down into the, I hate to tell you to do this, but you go down to the old sewer system, follow the heat, so to speak, you might find it.
suitably
Well, that's the deal.
disgusting.
Yeah. You'll be fine. But that's the deal.
It's always the sewers.
I'm
That's
happy
the deal.
with it. What do you
You
three
get-
think? Gets it out of the hands of those bastards anyway.
I'd very much like to experience more.
Hey, one other thing. You're not a god,
No.
and you're not one of us.
One of you.
A child of the Pantheon.
No. Not really.
But how are you here?
The working theory is you make enough of a mess or a legend of yourself, it can just sort of happen.
That's fair, I guess.
I hear Athena likes me. I don't know.
How'd you manage that?
It's a long story. Just being sort of too smart for my own good and pissing off her uncle.
It must be quite the odyssey.
I see what you did there.
You'll have to forgive Wayne. They're pretty great. All this is said and done, you and me are gonna have a talk.
Okay.
I might have something you want.
Well, I'm always willing to make an agreement.
Yeah. Well, gang, what do you say we go get ourselves some fire?
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. Well,
So it's a deal.
I'll see to it. See yourselves out then.
Oh, and don't forget to think on our little transportation problem.
Yeah. I like that as a bonus. I like you enough that I'll make that call.
Thanks. Alright. Let's get going. We've got a few things to do today, it looks like.
9 a.m. interview. 9:40 breakfast. 10 o'clock find Primal fire. 10:45 rescue Kaz from Asgard.
Just your standard.
Whatever shall we do with our afternoon?
Sleep? Drink? Anyway, let's go.
Yes.
Okay, before you all run off onto that adventure, that might be a good spot to take our short break. So we will be back in probably about 5 minutes.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Lane will ask to see Ro in the restroom to talk.
There's a meeting in the ladies' room.
We're having a confab when we return. Great. A ladies' room confab. Love it.
Alright, well, we will be right back.
And then they made me their chief.
And we're back.
Unfortunately, one of them got voted off the island, so now we will have very, very sad music playing in the background as this camera just stares at a vacant chair.
Yes, just somewhere between break there, I guess Lane got disintegrated. Like, oh no! Gradually,
Lane's also
forming
been
back in.
kidnapped by Asgard.
It's just one at a time.
We have teleporter technology, but very, very limited.
They're picking them off.
Asgard is experimenting with Bifrost kidnapping technology, and they're doing quite well at it. So, yeah. So I believe when we left off, you had been given a quest slash theft to commit or achieve, and if you're ready to begin that, we can, or if there's any RP that needs to be done before that, proceed.
I think at the moment, probably. Oh, yeah, no, right. Yeah, you did have something you wanted to do.
I was going to say, shoot, yeah. So, oh, fuck. Nope. Sorry. I need to regather my thoughts because I definitely did have an idea and it just completely vanished from my head.
I'll vamp for a second. So, I think for the most part, excluding whatever Lane's got on their mind, that we're probably a lot of all business right now. I mean, we're missing Kaz. We don't know what's going on there. I feel like we just want to get in and get out sort of situation. So, I have a feeling that everyone's just kind of like, all right, pedal to the metal sort of situation. So, well, that's it. That's the whole vamp.
Someone's got our fam. We're gonna get our fam back.
Family.
Fix the Charon, fix the
You should change to turn into Vin Diesel to say that.
Take the fire. Checklist.
Yeah, so we know where the fire is.
You think you have an idea how to track it using
that's right.
Using the power of Jericho.
Oh my gosh.
Jericho's Spidey sense plus sewer.
Oh
well,
yeah,
so if I remember correctly, I got a little bit of primal fire back at Vesuvius. Like just a little bit that I received, and it was fucking awesome. So I during our time off, I took that and I invested it into creating a relic, and it is a golden ring that I wear on my finger.
I thought you were going to say
reason in particular. And so I think I'll try to channel that sort of purview through that relic and try to follow it, that emotion to that primal fire, that feeling of that I once felt at Vesuvius as well. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So if you go out, I assume we're going outside the Panieri.
Yep. Could I grab a falafel hero to go?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Extra tzatziki.
Lane's like, okay. I don't remember what I wanted to say, but I do remember that I want a breakfast hero.
Yeah, all I know is that if I just drink this monster, plus the mix of medications that I take, I will burn a hole in my stomach, so I need to eat food. Well,
that
at least
sounds responsible.
If I had a human body, which I'm not even sure if I completely do anymore, but I'm used to it. So, yeah. Oh, what I was going to say though is that Jericho, maybe I could help you try to amplify your search somehow. Electronically, perhaps, boost your signal in a way, maybe.
You can, but you may not need to do it electronically.
Are you asking me to make a deal, or?
Not necessarily. I was just gonna say that, perhaps I could just amplify you, but I mean, that's true. Maybe it doesn't even have to be like technological. we just need to boost your awareness. Oh, shit. Actually, Ian, is it possible for me to try to, like, spread my awareness through technology, like using wireless interface instead of taking control of a specific thing or specific bits of technology? Could I try to like send out a net of my consciousness like to nearby technology or like monitoring technology to see if I could find something that seems suspicious or might give us a lead? I know that sounds like a lot, and I'm more than fine with rolling, but I just feel like that would be great if I could try to like find any local source that has like hints of fire or the fuckers that we've been dealing with.
The danger of that, of course, is that you might be seen.
Can I try to be stealthy about it somehow?
We could make it that, yeah, we could make it if you get enough successes that you're not detected.
I would love to attempt.
Could I? That's physical. Because you're talking about being detected like electronically or mystically, right?
Exactly. Like I'm
Yeah.
trying to essentially I'm trying to like hack a bunch of different things without it reading that I have been hacking these things.
Right. Okay. I have blinding veil, and I was thinking that might help, but that's for
Sounds
like
like some
physical.
pretty legendary shit.
Now you could also.
I will say.
Well,
Oh, yes, please. Tell me.
you could try a marvel, which would cost legend.
Yeah. I could totally do that.
If you have a boon.
Well, okay, so question. Actually, could I see instead if my guide, if I could summon my guide and send it to do some recon, telling it what to look for, the ghost of Duat?
You could try, yes.
Okay.
Like, you could certainly summon him, but... Jericho, are you doing anything?
You got a
Having
connection
sound
with
troubles,
this stuff,
of course.
You got a connection with this stuff, buddy. Can you activate like, I don't know, like a fire sense?
So, yeah, I was trying to think of what I could do with that. I don't have anything that's specific to that, but could I like, I don't know, maybe imbue legend into my relic or some shit to like try to make a focus that can sense. Oh,
Yes.
my familiar just showed up. All right, then yeah, I will sort of focus that feeling of primal fire that they focused into this and like activate it to kind of act as a conduit or a oh shit, maybe even like a sting, like an elven blade. Oh, clever. it just starts to, feel hotter. It's just a game of hot and cold now.
Okay, so
And it'll glow when it's hotter or some shit.
you're doing that. Lane, give me your roll, and I'll combine that information.
Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what to roll for it. I'm thinking obviously technology, and then because I'm trying to help like hone Jericho, I'm not sure if it would be like
Could do a like empathy roll or something to add to it.
would that make sense, Ian?
Like sensing each other.
Oh wait, no, because it would be one skill and then one attribute.
Yeah.
So
if you're
like
trying,
technology makes the most sense for the skill, and then for the attribute, I'm just trying to think like, would intellect work for that, or would we
intellect
need
works,
something else?
but if you are less specific about what you're trying to do, you're going to have to go with cunning.
Okay. Well, I do specifically want to do what I was saying before of like trying to like amplify and like guide where Jericho's like fiery presence is going. So like reaching out to areas where there is a big base of technology. So like this is gonna sound weird, but I was watching this thing about slime mold, and how it like goes specifically to different points of like nutrition, and I kind of want to do that where like I help guide Jericho's power towards places where there is more electronics, because I know that that's like the big thing for the enemy. So like big sources of power, guiding his presence and his like insight to those places.
Okay, I'm going to make an analogy here, and you can tell me if this makes sense. Because I'm having trouble like understanding exactly what you're trying to do.
I'm sorry.
What you're saying to me sounds a bit like if somebody says like, I'm looking for oil, and they have all the tools that they need to find oil, and then you say, well, I'm going to pick up the telephone and use the telephone to help them find oil. You see what I mean?
No, so what I'm trying to do essentially is, I know that like if our enemy has some source of this primal fire, I know that our enemy is also very technology based, so I'm trying to like spear out my technological interfacing skills to figure out like where some hotspots might be of like extra activity, so I can help guide for Jericho's going.
Okay.
So
yes.
I'm trying to be like, I'm trying to narrow down the search for him more or less.
I got you now.
I'm filtering. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Give me a roll then.
Remind me, what city are we in right now?
We hadn't quite established that.
I think at
Context
one point
clues?
we'd kind of thought that maybe we're just outside of Las Vegas, I think was a thing we threw around.
Oh, yeah. That might be
So I
it.
think that probably the Panieri is in Vegas, which makes sense. They've got, like a Shake Shack, so.
I got a 6.
A 6. Okay. Yeah, so Jericho can feel like these tendrils of fire moving throughout the city that are clearly, going to different places, but then moving to this central chamber underneath the city. But from just a fire perspective, it looks like it just looks like a typical. Yeah, it just looks like almost like what a volcano erupting would look like. So it just looks like a central space of fire. Lane, from your perspective, you can see it's a small facility, probably with a central chamber that has all these conduits running out from it that are actually carrying the fire. So you do know, with 6 successes, you do know exactly where it is. However, with 6 successes, you are spotted. You definitely see something looking back at you. Whether or not they know what you're up to, they don't know. You don't know, but you do know that they might know that you've accessed their network.
Okay. Does it feel like a particular presence, or just in general, like being spotted? Like, does it feel like it is one specific entity looking back at me?
You get that familiarity of presence of the entity that came to Baldur's bed and breakfast to talk to you that one time, or some relation to that, because typical internet software would not give you a sense of being looked at like this. It's almost, to make another analogy, it's almost like when Bilbo puts on the ring and he suddenly can see the Eye of Sauron looking at him. But no action is taken, as far as you know. They see.
I mean, all the Lord of the Rings shit, baby.
They see something.
Okay.
They see you, but they don't. Nothing else happens.
Okay. So, Lane will go ahead and tell the group that, and that we more or less know where the location of this thing is, and also the fact that they may be expecting us, though it was kind of a neutral response when they noticed me, so they're probably not entirely sure what's going to happen. Probably because they didn't expect us to go and get more of this primal fire. So, Odysseus, perhaps you're a wild card for them. So that's interesting.
Well, we can't not do it, so we'll see what's waiting for us, I guess.
But at least we know that they perhaps will be expecting us, so we'll have to be extra cautious. Or we try to use that to our advantage somehow.
Fair enough.
Do you then start to head for the facility? Where you think
Suppose
it
we
is?
should.
Probably a good idea.
What does the facility look like? Like, are there any obvious defenses or anything to it?
It is underground. There are defenses, in the sense of that it is guarded, but again, it's sort of like that military base where they're almost as if they don't want it to look too defended because that arouses suspicion.
So is this in like a casino or?
It's probably it's more like it's under the city. So it could be under a casino. So what Odysseus was thinking about accessing it from the sewer might be one way to do it. But
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot.
you could do it that way, or you could just try to go to whatever building is over the top of it and access it from there. But how are you thinking of getting there?
Do we want to go from above ground or go the nasty way that was suggested to us?
Could I like make an inverted ziggurat into the sewers with my raise the pillars of the earth ability? Just go into an alley and just.
I mean, you could, yeah.
Downward. Just a
I'd
small
prefer you
little
do
way
that
shrine.
than use your fire powers in the sewer, or we might all blow up.
So you're taking the... Okay, so you're gonna... Okay. Yeah, you could do that. Jericho creates stairs. They were super effective. And so, yeah...
Exciting things are happening on Scion. We are making stairs.
I harness
approved stairs.
I shall harness the powers of creation itself, and you make stairs.
They've even got handrails.
So, yeah, so a set of stairs, kind of like the pavement rearranges itself to, and concrete or whatever, like arranges itself into stairs that descend into a sewer tunnel, and you are free to descend down into the sewers.
Stinky.
And then just with the wave of the hand, they'll just kind of close it up.
Now, down here in the sewers, interestingly, it's the middle of it definitely has what could be described as a sewage system, but the rest of it does look like that it does have a former, especially this being Las Vegas, does have a former use as probably what would have been a bomb shelter. So
Fascinating.
you can see on the sides of the walls these conduits running along the walls, and if you were to touch them, they would be quite hot. And that's definitely primal fire running through them.
Hey.
How does
So,
one carry primal fire?
not it.
I'm assuming it's going to eat through any Tupperware that we might have handy.
What did you do with it last time, Jericho? Like, how did you... Is it just that you're able to contain it because of your powers? Super muted.
My push to talk wasn't working. I've been having so many issues tonight. I think my keyboard might be having issues. Anyway, they just, yeah, they're like, last time I just contained it within myself, and it seemed to work.
There we go. We've got walking Tupperware. I was about to say, why don't we get to go anywhere cool? Why is it always the sewers? But when we went to a fancy party, like, the champagne also tasted like it was from the sewers, so I guess it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think that we get to have nice things.
No. But,
I
hey,
mean,
Jericho,
hell, like, yeah,
you get primal
there's-
fire, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, enjoy that while we drink weird hot chocolate. That is totally great hot chocolate.
Hey, this is how my ancestors made it. This is what they gave to Cortez before he, annihilated the entirety of civilization.
It's really good hot chocolate. Nemesis.
Yeah, Jericho is very like quiet and just hearing all of that, but also feeling those very powerful, like, emotions of fire, that primal fire that they felt before, but it's probably more intense, I assume, if this is
Yes.
like a proper source.
Yeah, this is definitely intense, passionate, emotional fire.
Okay, partner.
But they probably look like they're like really intense and focused in and very quiet. And yeah, they're just going onward.
So, as you're kind of moving along the chamber, an old loudspeaker comes on, which is probably part of the old emergency alert system, and addresses you. I hope you're aware that we've seen you.
Can you hear us?
We hear everything.
Obviously.
We're allowing you in.
Thank you.
Let's just go right on in.
Perhaps do not thank us yet.
Soon we will come at you and we will monologue violently.
Perhaps not in this instance. Continue down this tunnel. Make the first left and then the next right, and you will be there.
What is there? Or where is there, I guess.
What you seek,
Which is what?
and what we seek.
Which is what, friend?
Testing data. And the speaker shuts off.
Assholes. Stupid.
I hate these things so much.
Yeah, me too.
Do we follow?
I think we do.
All right, you continue down the tunnel. Do you follow the directions given?
Yeah. But not before
As long
checking
as
with
it
Jericho.
feels like the right way.
Yeah.
If
I'm
it
glad-
feels like the right way very intensely, then yes.
It does, yeah, and narratively, I don't want to play. It probably wouldn't be very interesting to play like a half an hour of Lost in the Sewer. So
Absolutely.
everybody
There's
hates that
actually
level.
15 sources of primal fire, but one is the true. It's a Riddler game. It's fucking Batman or some shit.
It would if we were playing TMNT and other strangeness, but we're not.
Yeah, right. Or yeah, usually nobody likes the sewer level, so we'll skip it on this particular adventure. You come to a door. It's a large metal door that is sealed, pressurized, and has a red light above it that when you approach it goes green.
Cool.
How about
Okay,
you?
well, is it possible for me to try and, like, get a sense electronically for, like, the energy in the room? Can I vibe check the room technologically?
Yeah, and I will even make you roll for it. Vibe checking the room. The room seems surprisingly not very technological at all.
Okay. Interesting. Lane will just mumble to the group, be on your guard. It's suspiciously quiet inside. And they'll, push open the door very tenderly.
At this point, Nemesis will step forward and say, I'll go first.
All right.
By all means, go for it.
You open the door and you go into the room, which is a kind of a strange room. It's largely a metal room, but towards the back of it there is what appears to be a hearth, a large hearth filled with what you probably, if you've seen fires before, you would know is no natural fire. If you have seen unnatural fire before, you would know that this hearth is filled with primal fire.
How does it feel being close to such a crazy source?
I mean, if you could imagine what standing next to God would be like, it would be something like that. Like it's hard to look at. Not for you, Jericho. I mean, you can.
I imagine it feels like the opportunity to, do anything, but also absolute terror, because that's primal ancient power.
That is not all that is in the room.
What else is in the room?
In the room, you see you do see what you would recognize and what Lane and Jericho would not recognize as one of these sort of 9-foot tall Talos-like robots standing next to the fire. Lined up in front of the fire are 10 what appear to be armored Greek warriors with spears and shields. They're not quite ready yet, but they look like they're probably going to be in some kind of a phalanx. And in front of all of them is a person sitting on their haunches in what appears to be a military uniform, but also he has sort of long flowing blonde hair and is also wearing a breastplate and greaves. And he stands up and he says, "Well, they said you'd come."
I'm gonna take a guess. You're Achilles, aren't you?
I see my name precedes me. You stand before the glory of Achilles himself.
What the fuck, dude?
To say nothing of your legendary humility.
Why are you here doing this? I've read about you. God, this is upsetting.
You're slumming, pal.
This is actually very disappointing. What are you doing?
I'm enhancing my name. I'm bringing glory to my name.
No, you're not. You are bringing disgrace to your name right now. Trust us, pal. This is not what you want to be doing. Do you really think that these chuckleheads, the people around you, the tech people, love technology, but those guys, you really think that that's the horse to bet on?
The Trojan horse to bet on. Anyway.
I don't care about their motives. I care about my own motives. They freed me from the underworld. And now they send me glorious gods to kill. You'll
and
do.
you want to kill gods?
No. Yes, of course I do.
Why?
Glory.
Wouldn't you feel more glorious if you helped humanity save itself from the god's wrath? That would make you a hero.
No. Perhaps once humanity's in danger enough and the gods decide to intervene, that is when I can kill them.
The gods are intervening, and we could use some help killing them.
I assume that's
But-
why you're here, to steal the fire.
Yeah. And to tell you that you're backing the wrong horse. You should be backing the Trojan horse. As Nemesis so, well put it.
You make a certain point. I don't care. But I will offer you glory.
Okay. Let's hear it.
This'll be good.
What's the offer?
I could face your champion, me against whoever you choose. And when I defeat them, you leave. And you choose not to leave, of course. That is a declaration of war, and we shall slay the rest of you. Or we can just have a general melee right here.
Actually, here's what's going to happen, Achilles. And I'm going to utilize my second blaze. And I am going to... I'll read what it does. You manifest the power and energy of your living soul as a brilliant light shining in your eyes, exerting your dominance over all you behold. The target must either flee from or is cowed into submission and ceases hostilities, your choice. If you know their Ren, you treat their attitude as 2 points higher for the rest of the scene, which I know his true name, Achilles. So there's also that. And then the cost is to imbue 1 legend. The duration is for the scene. The clash is presence plus legend versus resolve plus legend. But I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Okay.
It is 8 is what I rolled. 8 successes.
Okay. I roll terrible. I rolled 3
Yeah,
successes.
Lane's eyes just...
On 13 dice, I rolled 3 successes.
Yeah,
Wow.
Lane just like starts to... Their form looks like more wraith-like and their eyes glow this golden color as they more or less just say, "You will do what we ask and you will give us what we want. You don't get to make demands. We're making demands.
Okay, and so how does it affect him again?
So they either, I get to choose if they flee or are cowed into submission, and I am cowing them into submission. So I am just like scaring Achilles into saying, you will do what we want, and you will do it happily. You will help us. Just using my, specifically my Heku, my Pantheon purview of that strong command and judgment.
Okay. So, yeah, he will kind of back off just a little bit. Just what spirit of death are you? This is not
I'm the
mine
one
to
that's-
give.
It doesn't matter if it's yours to give or not. You have it, and you're able to give it to us, aren't you? I don't care if you have permission.
I told you were back on your own horse.
Should have listened, boy.
And I begin to approach the source if he backs off.
So he is backing off. Jericho, you're approaching the source.
I'd like to approach it, yes. I would.
Okay. Going to spend my attention. And the robot looking thing will turn. And its eye looking thing on the top of it is like a single sort of cyclopean eye. It's going to take a shot at Lane.
Bitch!
Hang on a minute.
I think if it's alright in this case, I think I would like to jump in front of her.
Okay?
Would you say that this enemy is a similar or lower tier to me?
It's lower tier than you, yes.
Okay. And in order to save the trouble of rolling, I will announce that I'm using my perfect defense knack. One
Okay.
time per fight, I can declare that an attack made against me by an enemy of same or lower tier does not affect me in any way.
Okay. Then I won't even roll for it. The shot will...
I thought I'd save you the
Yeah.
save you the trouble. If I wanted to do that a second time, I have to spend momentum, and it can only be used twice per fight. But that's what Rose sees this thing take a shot at Lane and just steps in front of them.
Yeah, so it will take a shot. It will hit you. It will do nothing to you. And the robot will... I would say sans anything else, it will go to initiative.
Lane, can you get this? Can you get Achilles to shut the robot down? I don't
And
think
you
I
get
can
Achilles
take
to
another
fight
one.
the robots.
There's
Can
just
you get
one
Achilles
robot.
to fight the robots. Just keep everybody tied up.
So it's just the one robot. Could I try to interface with the robot and get it to shut down? Potentially?
You could attempt that.
I would love to try.
You don't know a whole lot about it yet, so I will let you attempt it. Yes.
Okay. Can I do like technology plus intellect? Yeah.
Yes.
That seem appropriate? Okay. Okay, that is 5.
Okay. Yeah, you can kind of interface the robot. You can't take control of it because as soon as you start to get into it, you definitely immediately feel that it's like it's almost like a living metal nanotechnology. So controlling it is very, very difficult. It's like trying to control like a hive mind, but you can certainly interfere with it.
Okay.
Achilles,
Are there certain things that I can sort of attack, more or less?
Yeah, I would say that like probably you could complicate its life.
I'm very good at doing that.
Not a reflection of our relationship at all.
That's actually very true. I am not a complicated... Well, I'm a complicated person. I'm an easy person to... No, never mind.
Easiest person for me to love in the world.
That's very sweet. Thank you. So embarrassing. Anyway, so I am able to influence or complicate it slightly?
Yes. So, essentially, you got 5 successes over its defense. It's like mental defenses, so you could put a +3 complication on it. And it would be up to you to describe exactly what that is.
Okay.
Like what it's a complication on, specifically.
I'm thinking that making it have a complication on its like defense systems would be good. Is it like one point per complication, more or less?
Basically, at a +3 complication on defense, it would be reducing its defense by 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think that's good.
So I am
Just
going
try
to go
tackle
ahead.
its defenses.
I'm going to go ahead and roll his initiative. And initiative is for everybody else. And this should go very quickly, I think, because there's so many of you. And also, they've probably taken the person out of the combat that I'm not OG.
Yeah,
I was forgetting
Achilles
this
is
is-
now my bitch.
Stand to the side and watch combat.
It turns out that Achilles' heel is actually God Mommy's.
You did
Kill it.
make Achilles heel.
Oh yeah.
Boom!
I will make Achilles heel. He'll roll over. He'll do whatever I want him to do. Ro, you and I have a plaything now.
And I thought my fire was hot.
That was fun.
Lane likes options.
That's it all. I just have to remember it. Initiative is usually composure plus a combat stat. I'm getting my, of course, as all Onyx Pass storytellers do, I'm getting my Onyx Pass system mixed up.
Yeah, I'm not much help. Keeping track of the different ones is not my strong suit. I'm like, does this explode? Does this count for double?
Yeah, okay, so
think it's a laser plus that's what you said.
Yeah. Combat skill related skill plus cunning.
Cunning.
And then the number you get determines a player initiative slot. Okay.
I am not a fast person or very good at combat.
I'm trying to decide which skill would apply in this situation. I'm feeling like either subterfuge or firearms. Yeah, just do firearms. I don't
What was
think
that
I'm gonna
nemesis?
go
Was
on-
it 4? 3?
I don't think I'm about to go unnoticed since I just stepped in front
3
of the
as
shot.
well.
So how we do? There's a 10. Funny enough, even with all those dice. That's a 3. No, sorry. Yes.
All right.
We all got 3s.
Including
Hey, okay,
including the
listen.
robot.
I got a 2.
The robot got 3. Lane is distracted. You know, the
Lane is admiring their new boy toy.
yeah, you're
Lane is not a fast person. Lane is distracted by interfacing with the fucking robot.
also like your crush just jumped in front of a laser and was just like, what?
This is true. Yeah, Lane's like, Jesus, Ro!
Just
But somehow, like, Ro is completely fine, and so Lane's like looking between the robot and Ro, like,
Ro is
This
just
like
like,
a one-off thing.
yeah, Ro is just like, listen, Ro bitch, I have had a day.
I didn't get to finish my coffee. Nope.
the
You
world
could
is
just-
only big enough for one Ro.
You can just take your eye lasers and just
Eat it.
eat it. So, basically any player who wants to go first can go first. I mean, all like every.
Does anybody want to enhance me before I attack this thing?
You take performance enhancers?
Yes,
Baby, it's all about the performance.
he's a
Storyteller.
professional wrestler. Of course he does.
Storyteller, game master.
Mhm.
What do you prefer, or do you prefer you? I don't think I've ever asked that.
I think I'm like, I think I'm like story guide for this system.
Story guide. Okay.
Story
Yeah.
guide.
Oh, I like that. Story guide. Would you consider this Atlas robot a character, or just mindless monster?
Whoa. Now you're gonna make me think about classification systems. Great. It's not really a character.
Freeform.
It's not really a character. No, it is a construct. Yes.
Okay, thank you. That is it.
I'm sure you just asked that question for no good reason. You were just curious about whether or not it was a construct. Just, you know, like, is the just like if you were asking, is the robot blue? Is it orange?
Actually, kind of, because I was
What's-
asking
What's
if you had said it's a character, I could do something, but I can't.
okay?
I'll just commit arson as usual.
Okay, so
I don't think I have any enhancement
oh, wait.
that I can, anything specifically I can do for Nemesis. I was just looking through my sheet.
I think Lane.
So,
might-
yes. Yeah, so.
and you can
Lane
act on
is just-
what I was
Lane
saying is.
will-
How about you
Go
go
ahead.
first?
Okay, so I was just saying is just to explain the system just a little bit is that, like, you know, we create player and bad guy slots through our initiative rolls. just because Lane rolled 2, that's okay because Lane can still act on the player initiative slot. So that is why, if you're wondering why Lane can act first, that is why. Proceed. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyway, Lane is going to go ahead and, like, as the machine starts whirring and you hear it coming to life or whatever, Lane will just go to Nemesis and grip his arm, just look up at him and say, "You have to promise to protect us." And we'll try to use the bound by oath thing with Nemesis again. You have to swear it.
Nemesis will take Lane's hand, walk up against his forehead, and say, "I promise."
Okay, so Nemesis now will get a +1 enhancement to all rolls until the task is complete. And the bonus applies to everything prior as well. And if the target breaks the oath, the next roll they make botches, but that's probably not going to happen. So mostly Nemesis just gets +1 to this entire situation.
Okay.
Also, we
your-
might be having music issues again.
Okay. There we go. Alright.
Is that better, Blue?
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, so that was your action? Yeah, it's
Yep.
action. Okay. Now it is Robot's turn. Robot will fly into the air. So it actually lift up off the ground. It will raise its hand and it will take a shot. It'll take a shot at Ro.
All right, fair.
So you roll your defense. I think that's on your sheet.
I could theoretically. Do we? What do we have as far as momentum?
You don't have any momentum.
I miss the systems where you start with a pool.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like changing that. So
Fair. For now, yes. What would you like me to roll?
so you're gonna roll your defense, whatever your defense pool is. It's like one of your resistance stats. It can be any of them, just depending on how you defend yourself.
Resolve. Just hunker down and deal with it. And it's that plus what, or just that?
In your case, it is that +2.
Right.
That is another demigod benefit.
+2 or +2 dice?
No, just +2.
Okay. So yeah, like a technically what, like an enhancement? Oh, holy! That's 2 10s on my 2 dice that I can roll. I'm not lying to you. That's 2 more 10s.
Holy shit! It's the power of love!
I'm pretty sure it missed. So
7.
So yeah, your defense is a 7 then. So
Yeah, that's a 7 on 2 dice. I don't know how I did that, but
yeah, so
Clearly, you're some kind of sorcerer.
so essentially what
That's
we
that
need.
fucking the Morrigan fate shit right there, dude.
Don't fuck with me.
So robot would need basically 7 successes to hit you. It did not get that. It got like 4. So
Still a respectable number.
yeah. So yeah, you see out of its hand, a dart comes out of it, and I won't even say that it barely misses you. It really misses you.
Yeah, I think Rose just like, sure, try again.
Yeah, and you actually, if you super wanted to, you have enough successes to do like literal gymnastics to move out of range band. I think if you wanted to, but you don't have to.
I
Like
think
defensive stunts, essentially.
so. Yes and no, in that I think so. Ro has an ability, and I'm not going to use it here because I don't want to. But like Ro has an ability called like Step Sideways. That's one of their liminal abilities, and I think it's similar to this here. Is it they move so subtly and liminally that it's almost like they just briefly phase out of reality to avoid this, and back in, and they're like, "Was that supposed to hit me?" And that's that.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
fucking dope.
back to the players.
If y'all don't mind, I'd like to go.
Kick his ass.
So first, I'm going to activate They're Everywhere. The field you're fighting in becomes divine. Any enemy who enters this field, I am granted 1 attack against them, regardless of range. This cannot be modified by other knack skills that allow additional attacks, but I may make this attack regardless if I have taken another action, which means that I'm going to activate this, beat on him, and then take my actual attack. So,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and it would just be on him because the other stuff is not attacking.
yep.
They are domed.
Yeah, basically,
Okay.
Nemesis is also going to use this to kind of show off just a touch for these immortal myrmidons. Bucky stuff. So that first one gets 2 successes.
Okay. That will hit and do 1
Okay.
damage.
Okay. 1 second here. And now that I'm up in the air and grabbing onto him and pounding on him. Oh goodness. Okay. So right now there's 4. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Hang on. The first attack, I forgot to add my enhancement. So it's a total of 3 successes, not 2.
Okay.
2, 4. Plus the exploded 10. So 4. So 5 successes from this attack.
Okay, so with 5 successes, you can crit, I believe.
Okay.
Let me see. It's not the time for the... Yeah, with 5 successes, you can crit, so you can do 2 damage. For a total of 3 damage this whole round. Is that what you want to do? Or...
Yes, and then whenever I make a successful injury with my knack skill, I may knock the target back 1 range band. So
Okay.
basically, I'm going to punch him back down to the floor.
Okay.
Land on
Bonk
the
he
elbow.
goes. And I think you actually have enough left over that you could do another stunt. You could say you could blind him. You could. I think you have enough to disarm. No, you do have enough to disarm.
Okay. Well, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, we'll say in this case disarming is in the literal sense. So basically, we could say that arm that shot the dart just kind of comes off.
Yep.
All right. Who's
I'll
next?
do on that. Guys,
Anybody? Nobody?
Ro,
If
you're
no one
mid.
else, if no one else will go, then I mean, yeah, Jericho will imbue legend to bring down some divine fire, and I would, like prior, ask if I could use empathy as like that more passionate emotion and dexterity. As it
I'm
asks
okay with that.
normally for athletics, but I feel it's a very bad. Thank you.
I'm okay with that.
Thank you. And so it is that. Let's see. And yeah, so it's just a simple action to do that. And they're aggravated, ranged, and pushing attacks as well. And yeah, so they would just like to view that and just like maybe almost try to reach out towards the primal fire and try to get it, but if they can't, at least just throw some sort of flame at this Atlas robot.
Which do you want to do, or do you want to do both?
Shit, I mean, if I can reach out to the primal fire, that's more important to them in a sense, because if they can get that, then they feel or think that they could probably deal with this. It just feels intense. So I guess, yeah, the reaching out towards the primal fire, my friend.
Okay. Yeah, give me a roll.
Okay, I guess I'll stick with the idea of empathy. And maybe resolve or composure? One of those two, if either sounds better. I imagine it's like trying to feel the fire and then take it and just hold what they already understand to be something that was just so extraordinary already when they had a mote of it. So I guess just trying to hold it.
Okay.
Then empathy and I guess resolve, if that's okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
think we can see
that's
that as
9.
you. 9? Okay. Yeah. That's plenty.
Sorry, I got to roll first.
Oh.
And that
You cut off there.
yeah, that's 9 successes. 2 of them were 10s that led to the 9.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was looking for like 5. Yeah, so the fire starts to come out of the hearth and start to just channel into your body and into your hands, and like, and you start to, yeah, I mean, like, you to the people around you, you are engulfed in flames, but not burning. And so I think that gives.
If I can do anything else, I would totally attack. But that's very cool to just get it right there and maybe sit on that for a moment.
So, yeah, just sit on that for a moment. There's a way that you can do that, but I think for speed's sake, we'll come back to that another time.
Appreciate you.
So that leaves us, Ro. What do you want to do?
Well, if I understand it correctly, Nemesis has quite literally de-armed the robot. And Jericho's got the fire. Is there any prescient danger?
The robot's not done.
Alright. I will, so I'm going to aim for, like, a joint in the ankle or something like that, try to bring it down. With...
Hit its heel.
Yes, I mean, I was thinking that a little bit. And I'm going to use firearms, but technically I'm going to use one of my birthrights, which is Claw of the Raven.
Okay.
So it's pistol. It's just adds natural and arcing to pistol. So yeah, I think since I'm trying to hit it tactfully, or tactically, tactfully, since I'm trying to hit it tactically. Do you think I could argue maybe firearms plus cunning? Or intellect?
Yeah.
Okay,
You can.
cool.
And they're also not regular guns either, so.
Or
Remember
successes. Oh, sorry.
Then
Go ahead.
you succeed on 7s. Remember that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would not have 4 if I didn't succeed on 7s. I'm very excited about that. I would have 2 if I didn't succeed on 7s.
Okay, so you will.
And I think that the way this looks when Ro is shooting this out is I think it's almost Spider-Man-ish. It comes from somewhere in this general vicinity rather than actually. They don't even bother to pull their gun. It just materializes. But it is a projectile.
Okay. Yeah, you will do a damage to the robot. It is very heavily damaged with 1 success left over. Anything you want to do with that?
Is 1 success enough to impose a complication?
Yep.
Okay,
Always.
I think if I've aimed for one of its heels, then maybe the complication is something along the lines of it's hobbled now. It's going to take it. It's going to be at a disadvantage trying to move. I think that's the complication I'd like to impose on it, and that's me done. I think.
Okay. So I think it's everybody. So we would go back to the top of initiative. For narrative's sake, I don't think we would need to go through another initiative round. This robot has like 1 health, and guaranteed Nemesis' next turn is gonna kill it, if nothing else does. So, narratively, what happens?
Tell us, Nemesis.
Well, once it's hobbled, Nemesis will just grin at it and say, "Time to cross the veil, buddy," and tear its head clean off, fling it over its shoulders towards the other side of the room, dust his hands, look at Achilles and say, "Now, we're gonna go get that fire."
Remind me, how big are those robots? Those like
They're-
Atlas ones?
They're about 9 feet tall.
That's great.
They're like little sentinels, kind of. They look. If you would recall, they look a little bit like Talos, but smaller. But
Sorry,
now,
that's right. Talos. I keep saying Atlas. I apologize.
oh no, it's fine.
Yeah,
Ah.
Lane will just, after Nemesis throws it and everything, just remembering back to when I'm pretty sure Nemesis also like threw part of actual Talos into the lava. But just thinking back to that and just kind of nodding to themselves and just looking over at Achilles and saying, anyway, you're taking us to the Primal Fire now.
You have one single combat, and you have the primal fire. Be gone.
Guess Jericho will be glowing or less glowing now if they're starting to contain it more, and kind of approach as well, and just kind of look down at Achilles with the rest of them. Do you know anything of what happened to our companion?
I know not of who you speak,
That's good.
but you fought well. There's honor in that. One day I will kill you when you're strong enough.
Good luck, buddy.
What? Okay, no.
Oh, how powerful
No.
does Primal Fire feel? Looking at this guy?
It's powerful stuff. In fact, it is so powerful that you feel a change in yourself.
Uh-oh.
Is it powerful enough to just waste him? I don't know what his level of existence is.
He's probably somewhere on the level of a demigod.
Okay.
But you could hurt him with it, yeah. If that's what you chose to do.
I mean, I don't like this guy. He seems like an ass. And also, I have a lot of fire powers now, and I kind of want to use them. Yeah. Uh-oh. There's a bit of meta in it, and I apologize for that. Yeah. Can I? What would it take to try to use some of that on this cowed Achilles? Whether to destroy them or severely hurt them, to be like, no, you won't.
I think narratively, I don't really want to.
If that's possible.
Yeah, it's totally possible. I really don't want to roll for that. Just because we could get into rolling and that'll just not very much fun, But what it would take is just for you to push the fire out. And since he doesn't see it coming, he will probably be very badly burned.
Yeah, I think Jericho absolutely would happily do that.
Okay. Yeah, I like that from a narrative perspective too. Thing. So.
And yeah, they'll just be like, no, you won't.
And yeah, so the rest of you would see, just flames, just almost like blue flame, the hottest flames imaginable, just jump out from Jericho and just ignite Achilles and the Myrmidons. And when he's done, there is nothing left.
What?
Yeah.
What did you do?
They'll just kind of look down at their hands and, well, I got what we came here for. And it's Quite a lot.
Gonna be able to deliver some of that to Odysseus.
Sure. They'll kind of like, dissociate and walk away a little bit and just kind of feel everything that's going on.
So that is, I think, a fairly good place to wrap things up. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next time we can go back to getting to Odysseus and seeing what he has to say, and if he's got you any leads on what you're trying to get after. But probably the most critical thing that's happened here is that Jericho has stolen the sacred flame of the gods, much like his father, which will ascend you to Legend 5.
Dun, dun,
And,
dun.
and Jericho,
Just give
for
like
better
a
or worse,
high five to Ro.
Jericho, for better or worse, has just become a demigod.
Hey,
Heck of a way to do
PSA,
it.
don't let your traumatized kids get divine power. It might not work well if they don't have a therapist.
I was going to say, of course, the two most traumatized, most unstable scions are the ones who are demigods first, and then two of the ones who are they're not necessarily well adjusted, but they know what they're about, and they're not super unstable. We're just still normal heroes, just doing our thing, and then we're dealing with our fucking absolutely unstable, traumatized little babies that are fucking demigods.
I mean, I just used mine to just step in front of you. No big deal, right? That's fine. That's normal
No,
things
yeah,
that
and
normal
we're
people
gonna
do.
and we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna have a chat. All right, Ro.
Yeah, it might be.
Listen,
Maybe it's time for Jericho to have a discussion with Aunt Hestia about good small fires.
I've seen enough Smokey the Bear PSAs. I will not do them out in forests. Only cities.
Well, then that's fine.
Yeah, that's what they say. You can have your fire only if it's in a city. Which, by the way, we yesterday when we were driving into Seattle, there was a fucking tree on fire on the side of the road.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. Never
Well,
seen
we'll
that
get you
before.
your city fires, and we'll just
yeah, it
bring
was
you Old Lady Leary.
it was a very it was a very huge fire too. Like we were driving through and we saw the smoke and it took us a while to actually see where the fire was coming from. It was fucking massive. It was
Yeah, full ass
ridiculous.
tree just fucking engulfed. It was crazy. But
Dang.
it looks like there were already fire peeps on the scene, so hopefully no one was hurt.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah. Don't let the
Ian, thank you
vicariousness get it.
for another great session.
Well, thank you. It was a shame that Ty couldn't be with us, but it was for a good cause, I assure you.
Yes.
And they will be back with us next time for what I assume will be definitely a more Asgardian themed adventure. So, thank you everyone for sticking around. Thank you for watching us instead of something else you could be watching. And I'm sure we're better for your brain than that and your soul. So we will see you again in next time. Or in next time. We'll see you again next time, and I hope that you join us on Friday for Monster of the Week. But take care, folks, and I need some kind of an outro statement that I never have invented yet, but we'll just go with
Try not to die.
drink your drugs. Stay in
Yep.
Don't
Because-
forget, tap water is good for your lungs.
And if you die, you have to deal with Lane and Nemesis. So just consider that.
That's right. So
It's
we'll see.
and that's not a positive thing. I apologize.
And we will see you again next time. Take care.